There's a kind of quiet that settles over a dying relationship. It's not loud, it's not violent. It's heavy, like a damp woolen coat you can't take off, even in the summer. That's what it felt like standing there, a plastic fork in one hand, a half-deflated balloon swaying behind me. It was Leo's 40th birthday party. Our backyard in Oak Park, just outside Chicago, looked like a Pinterest board had come to life. I'd spent weeks planning it. The string lights, the catered tacos, the ridiculously expensive craft beer he liked. As he raised his glass for a toast, I felt a flicker of pride. I'd done this. I'd made this for him. And then he delivered the punchline I didn't see coming. "She's not a great cook like my first wife," he said, gesturing to me. "But hey, at least she pays the bills." His sister Sophie cackled into her wine like a sitcom had just wrapped filming. His friends, the kind who called their own wives the old ball and chain, chimed in with giggles. Someone actually clapped. I didn't say a word. I didn't look at him right away, but when I did, it was the kind of look you give a server who brings the check before you're ready. Mild annoyance, a touch of impatience, like I was an inconvenience at his own birthday party. His sister blinked. She glanced at me, then at him. I saw something flicker across her face, not quite shock, but close enough. Even she, the woman who once drunkenly told me I thought I was too boring for her brother, seemed surprised. And then there was Julian, Leo's son, 14 years old, still wearing braces, and that blank, unreadable mask of teenager. He didn't laugh, didn't blank, just stared down at a slice of red velvet cake like he was suddenly too nauseous to eat. I placed the plastic fork on the table, picked up an empty cup someone had left near a flower pot, and carried it to the trash, methodical, measured. Then I walked back, cleared more plates, and asked his aunt if she was finished with her sparkling water. She nodded. I smiled. She didn't. No one offered to help, not one person. By the time I loaded the last dish into the washer inside, they were already on their second round of drinks. Leo was posing for pictures now, laughing beside a friend whose name I didn't know. Someone turned the Bluetooth speaker up louder. The bass just swallowed everything else. I walked back outside. The string lights above the patio glowed warm and soft. His birthday banner flapped lightly in the breeze. A gust of wind knocked over a card someone had left unopened. I picked it up and placed it neatly under a half-empty bottle of rosé. Then I looked at him. Just looked. He didn't meet my eyes. He was busy laughing too hard at something his friend had said. I didn't say goodbye. I didn't cause a scene. I just grabbed my keys from the hook by the kitchen door, walked through the side yard, and slipped out the back gate. The latch made a soft click behind me, like a coffin sealing shut. I passed the neighbor's fence. Their dog didn't bark. I passed the driveway. My car sat there, like a relic, clean, maintained, reliable. Like me. I got in, started the engine, but didn't drive. I just sat there, hands on the wheel, heart hollow. That moment, the joke, the laughter, the forced smile, it wasn't the beginning of a crack. It was the end of the illusion. I'd paid for that entire party, the catering, the decorations, the $200 dress he was wearing. Even the damn Bluetooth speaker was mine. I'd done all that for a man who'd rather make me the punchline than his partner. And as the porch lights faded in the rearview mirror, I felt something I hadn't in years. Control. Not anger, not despair, just clarity, cold and surgical. He thought he had delivered a joke, but he just pulled the pin. And now I was going to see what it's like when the one who just pays the bills stops. The first thing he'd notice would be the cold side of the bed. The sheets still smooth, the pillows still fluffed. That detail alone wouldn't have meant much if it hadn't been for the silence. No hum from the coffee maker downstairs, no clinking of the spoon in the ceramic mug I always used, no trash bag tied and waiting by the door like clockwork every Monday. Just silence. He'd check his phone, no missed calls, no texts. Not from me. Not even from my own sister, who had been suspiciously quiet since the party. He'd try to call, straight to voicemail. No greeting, just that blunt, metallic click when the call timed out. He would search for me on Facebook, but my profile was already deactivated. Instagram, nothing. LinkedIn, a dead end. Then his mind would turn to the cabin. The one up in the woods of Wisconsin, the one we bought 3 years ago, with dreams of family weekends, fire pits, and homemade pancakes. The one he always said was our little escape. But we never got around to fixing it up. Or rather, I did. He stopped coming after the first 2 weekends. Said he didn't like the bugs. Said it was too rustic. Said I looked ridiculous in flannel. But I kept going. Quietly. Repairing. Sanding. Insulating. Wiring. Every spare weekend. And then Sarah follows. She doesn't speak. She doesn't need to. Her hand finds my shoulder with the kind of grace that only comes from someone who knows what it costs to love quietly. She leans in. I smile. Not a performance, just a soft exhale of something real. Then the door swings wider, and Megan steps out, laughing at something inside. Her hair is tied up, she's wearing my old sweatshirt, she's barefoot too. She looks younger, lighter. My heart gives a twitch I don't understand. I watch as Megan walks toward the porch railing, picks up a pine cone from the ground, and tosses it at me playfully. I catch it. She says something. We laugh. All of us. And me. Watching from the road, I feel something I can't suppress anymore. I'm not part of this. Not because he exiled me, because I simply stopped inviting him into pain disguised as partnership. For a long time, he had confused my presence with loyalty, my silence with submission, a full fridge with love. He believed, somehow, that as long as I stayed, he could keep treating me like furniture, useful, steady, background. He was wrong. I hadn't left in anger. I left in awareness. And this was the answer to every unanswered call, every message left to rot in the void. I sit in my car, the engine off now, keys in my lap, and it hits me. Not like a wave, but like a quiet curtain falling on the last act of a play I didn't know was about me. I wasn't watching him move on. I was watching him become whole. Not a better man, just a man who stopped tolerating being less. A man whose silence was no longer compliance, but clarity. Across the road, on that porch, nothing dramatic happens. No slammed doors, no accusations, just life. Quiet. Complete. And me, still sitting there, still unseen, finally understanding. Sometimes the most powerful thing a woman can do is walk away without ever turning back.